and welcome to episode 3 of Learning Music Theory. I was going to be doing this lesson on chords, but I feel like there's a step before that we should look at, which is intervals. Now an interval is just a gap between two notes. So for each one, it's not going to be like a normal lesson where I talk through 90% of it. I'm just going to say what they are and then give you an example of what songs they're in. The first one, I wouldn't class it as an interval because it's not going between two notes, but just unison. I can't think of a song that it's in, but it's probably in pretty much every song. But it wouldn't show off any good examples. But you know what unison is. If it is the same note, it is unison. The first proper one is minor second, and you'll recognise this straight away. It's also Bring Me Sexy Back. It's also used in the clown song. I'm not quite sure what it's actually called, but you'll know it straight away. And that's because it uses a chromatic scale, using every note. The next interval we've got is a major second. So again, the last one was a minor second, this one's a major second. And that's just a tone. An example that everyone can relate to is this. Now the next one is a minor third, which is a tone and a semitone. An example of this is 1. Green sleeves. 2. There's also a minor third within the theme of Game of Thrones. And Kiss from a Rose by Seal also leads up to a minor third. Major third it's a very happy one, so I struggled to find anything for it. One of them is Kumbaya. And another one, if you were on the internet probably about a decade ago, then you'd probably recognise a Keyboard Cat song. So that first interval. That's a major third, it's 2 tones. The next 3 have got different names. Rather than major or minor. This first one is a perfect fourth. Again, I struggled to actually find some examples for this, but there's ones that people know, so. Another way of remembering it is the hillbilly back and forth bass line. The next interval is quite interesting. It was banned in churches in the, I believe, 1600s because it sounded evil. It's known as a tritone or devil's note. And you can hear that it's very clashing. There's only one example that I can think of, or one example that other people would know. I think there's a few from musicals, like Maria. But the example that everyone would know is The Simpsons. The next one is a perfect fifth. And the way that I remember this is the Forrest Gump theme tune, as it uses fifths throughout it.
This is really boring. You really need to up the energy level. I'm getting sick of this.
Cocks up quite a lot there, but you get the idea. I was sort of just going from memory there. This next one is minor 6, and you'll recognise this from Love Story. Or if you've heard a certain rap song that also uses it, so put on a lame drum beat. And you get the idea. There's also a very famous ragtime that uses a minor 6, but in a very different way. It sounds very major. There's also a very famous ragtime song that uses this, but in a very different way. It sounds very major. I'm going to use a honky tonk sound for this because it'll suit better. Now the next one is a minor 7th. So I've been looking through my footage and I've realised that I haven't even recorded the major 6. So I'm going to just play it now quickly. I've already packed away my things. As you can see, the microphone's not down. I'm already halfway through editing the video, so it's easier for me to just record it here. I'm just going to play it on the melodica now. Now the next one is a minor 7th, and it's going to be a bit hard to show off on piano, but the example that I use is Can't Stop by Chili's. It uses this lead up to the octave. The next one is a major 7th. Now this is impossible to find in a pop song. The closest I could find is Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and it's still pushing it a bit too far. The way that I hear it is just by thinking, will it lead back up to the octave easily? But I'll play Somewhere Over the Rainbow so you can hear that it's like falling down to the 7th. So. Again, it's stretching it. I'd say it's the only one that you can't really reference too well. But just think about it resolving back up to the octave. I think that's the easier way. And the last one is an octave. There's countless ones that use an octave in it. For example, Megalovania. Play that funky music, white boy. Filthy Gorgeous by the Scissor Sisters constantly uses it. Now from an octave, you'd think that'd be it.
No! God, please, no! No!
I'm not going to go into all of them. You can go into a ninth, so this would be a minor ninth. It starts to get harder to think of examples of these, but I actually know one example for this horrible sounding one, and it's Killing in the Name of, right at the start. I know you were expecting to hear how to make chords, and this just makes it easier. I'm going to show you just one chord just to show how much easier it makes it. Normally I'd say for a major chord you'd have to do 2 tones and then a tone and a semitone on top of that. Now I can just say a major third under a minor third. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that lesson and I hope you've learned a new thing from it. If you did like it, please subscribe and drop a like. And if you did like this video, drop a like and drop a comment. You can also subscribe over here. Yeah, we'll go there. And you can also watch some of my other videos here. I'll put it in post. Yeah. Right, cheers, catch you later.
It's not been easy for me. It has not been easy for me. And, you know, I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. I came into Manhattan.